Welcome to Daikin. My name is Alexandra Matthews. I'm going to talk about R32 Inverter Scroll, Chiller and Heat Pump series, which are being launched in September 2021. The contents of this presentation: low environmental impact, range overview, options and accessories, market positioning, and annex. Low environmental impact. Daikin is a global company manufacturing air conditioning and refrigeration equipment, operating on refrigerants. Refrigerants contribute to global warming, and Daikin have a great concern for the environment. Daikin have a history of researching and manufacturing refrigerants. It was the first company in the world to launch heat pumps and air conditioning equipped with R32. The global warming potential, GWP, of R32 is 675, which is only 1/3 of the commonly used refrigerant R14A. R32 is a mono-refrigerant. It is easy to recover and reuse. It is the perfect solution to attain new European F-gas regulation targets. Let's compare traditional refrigerants developed for scroll compressors in terms of composition, impact on environment, capacity, and efficiency. Let's look at R14A versus R32. R14A is a blend, and R32 is a mono-refrigerant. Global warming potential of R32 is 3 times higher than global warming potential of R32. And lastly, one needs less R32 to obtain 1 kilowatt capacity, meaning improvement on efficiency. Another two alternative refrigerant blends based on R32 are R454B and R452B. They are both blends which have impact on the service. For example, if there is a leak in the system, it is not easy to keep the same correct proportion of components in a refrigerant. Global warming potential of R454B is the lowest of refrigerants considered. However, there is a reduction in capacity and efficiency, which have impact on the cost of the system. Let's have a look at the range overview. The first R32 cooling-only chillers were launched in July 2018, and later this year, free cooling option was added to this range. In April 2020, Daikin started manufacture of the first heat pump scroll chillers based on R32. Leading the way again. And finally, new R32 modular inverter scroll chiller and heat pump series are launched into the market. This is a current product overview for 2021 for air-cooled scroll compressors chillers. Scroll compressor chillers covers up to 750 kilowatt. For higher capacities, screw chiller ranges are used. The chiller ranges marked in blue are inverter driven, and most ranges are available in both cooling only and heat pump. This new chiller range consists of 9 models and ranging from 16 to 90 kilowatt, available in both cooling only and heat pump. Please note that 40 kilowatt capacity model comes in 2 configurations, with a single circuit and with a dual circuit. In fact, all models below 40 kilowatt are single circuit models, and all models above 40 kilowatts are dual circuit models. The evaporator on those chillers is of brazed plate heat exchanger type. Condenser coils are copper aluminum. The fans on this chiller are inverter driven throughout the whole range, and all models have electronic expansion valve. If to have a glance at the efficiency, the ERR, which is a full load efficiency, it's about 3. And the seasonal efficiency, or in other words, the part load efficiency, is 5 and above. In fact, the detailed engineering data book is available on Daikin website, and you're welcome to download to have a detailed specification on this range. To summarize the previous slide, this chiller range comes in cooling only and heat pump configuration. The capacity range is from 16 to 90 kilowatt. Inverter scroll compressors, standard and boost configurations. The coils on the condenser are copper aluminum. Evaporator is brazed plate heat exchanger, and the fans on this chiller range are inverter driven. And also, those chillers can be ordered with the pump, which also is inverter driven, which comes in a low and high lift versions. Let's look at the nomenclature. EWA stands for cooling only chiller. EWY will indicate that this is a heat pump one. Letter T means that chiller operates on R32 refrigerant. Next 3 numbers will indicate cooling capacity in kilowatt at nominal conditions, meaning inlet of evaporator is 12 degrees, outlet of evaporator is 7 degrees, and the ambient condition is plus 35 degrees. Letter C is just a model series. Z means that compressor is inverter driven. Next position will give you information about the pump. N means that chiller doesn't have a pump. Letter P will indicate that the low lift pump is built inside the chiller frame, or if letter H will be in that position, it will tell you that this unit will be equipped with a high lift pump. Next position is reserved for additional options that can come with the chiller, which we'll cover later on in the presentation. Letter A is the simple vintage. It's like when factory starts manufacture of a particular range, it starts with A and consecutive modification will be B and C and so on. And lastly, the last position will give you information of number of refrigerant circuits in that particular chiller. Earlier on, we looked at the advantage in increased capacity and efficiency of R32 refrigerant models compared to R14A models. In turn, this will translate into reduced footprint of the chiller of R32 models compared to the same capacity R14A models, and this is true throughout the whole range. Let's have a look at the operating limits. First, in a cooling only mode. This range is designed for the wide range of applications. Chilled water possible is from -15 with the brine mixtures and up to +25, covering all sorts of applications, from comfort cooling, process cooling, and data centers, and suitable for operation in most climates, from -20 up to +45 in standard operations, and with the high ambient kits, this chiller operates in the ambient temperatures of +52 degrees, suitable for operation throughout the whole year. This is the representation of operating limits in cooling-only mode in the form of the envelope. On the vertical axis is climate representation, the ambient air temperatures. And on the horizontal axis is a possible chilled water temperatures. Note that in the chiller operation below +4 degrees C, brine options should be used, and for high ambient operation in the reference 1 section, chiller should be ordered with a high ambient kit. Operating limits in a heat pump mode. The low spectrum of water possible in a heat pump is 20 degrees, and the highest is 60 degrees. And the ambient temperatures that heat pump covers is from cold of -20 going up to +35 degrees C. On the right-hand side is the representation of operating limits in a heat pump in the form of the envelope. On the vertical axis, showing evaporator leaving temperatures, and on the horizontal axis is the ambient temperatures possible. Options and accessories. As previously mentioned, chiller can be supplied with inverter-driven pump in a standard and or low lift or high lift versions. The hydronic kit is protected from freezing by selecting anti-freeze protection electrical heater. Anti-freeze protection electrical heater offers the protection for the water-side components inside the chiller, including brace-type plate heat exchanger, but it will only protect internal parts of the unit. It cannot protect field installed parts outside the unit. High ambient temperature kit will ensure chiller operation in the ambient temperatures above 45 degrees and up to 52 degrees C. This high ambient kit, characterized by oversized electrical equipment and fan boosted to a maximum speed, as extra heat need to be rejected in these conditions. This chiller range can be connected to building management system via all known industry standard protocols. In the table below, you can find out if a particular protocol comes standard with the chiller unit or a specific accessory have to be ordered. Also, this chiller range have a master-slave option which will allow 4 chillers to operate as one. Daikin on-site cloud platform offers numerous advantages for the end user and for the installer. Predictive maintenance can prevent breakdowns. Also, no matter where you are, you can view energy consumption and chiller parameters. Remote diagnostic support will increase lifetime of your system. Also, multiple sites can be managed based on this platform. As the summary of this presentation, let's highlight the main points. This chiller range operates on R32 ecological refrigerant, which is a mono refrigerant. high seasonal and full load efficiency, which results in a low running costs. Full inverter technology. Compressors are inverter driven, fans are inverter driven, and pumps are inverter driven. System optimization solution. Wide operating range. Advanced connectivity. Quiet operation, as all compressors got enclosure. And factory will have these chillers readily available from stock. Market positioning. This slide is a comparison of chiller efficiencies from different manufacturers in a cooling only and a heat pump mode. And clearly it's shown that this range is head above the shoulders from all the competition. In a cooling only mode, AMAC is our competitor, and in heating, Clivet. But Daikin is the only manufacturer that have optimized models in both cooling and heating mode. Again, Daikin is a leader in the market. With less refrigerant charge, R32 is the refrigerant of the future, quicker to install and easier to maintain. Annex. Lastly, let's have a look at the flammability issue of R32 refrigerant. R32 is classified as A2L refrigerant gas. What does it mean? A stands that R32 have no toxicity. 2L corresponds to low flammability. In comparison, propane R290 is classified as high flammability gas. Only a mixture of R32 between 14 and 31% in the air can burn at 23 degrees. In fact, in order for a refrigerant to be ignited, three conditions have to be met. It has to be presence of fuel refrigerant, sufficient amount of oxygen, and ignition source is a heat. And looking at the minimum ignition energy, it can be seen that selected refrigerant can be ignited only by very high energy density source as flames and chemical sources, meaning that it have to be a real fire in a building in order for R32 to ignite. If the three conditions of the fire triangle are met, then there is a possibility of ignition. But even if all the right circumstances come together, then R32 burns very slowly. Its burning velocity is really very low. Hence the classification is A2L, and it's really safe to use in all air conditioning and refrigeration applications.